Imagine working your whole life to buy your dream ranch, only for your HOA to show up at your door with a 72-hour ultimatum: sell your land or else. But what they didn't know was that the man they were targeting had a plan, one that would flip the script, triple their rent, and leave them stunned. This is the story of how one black rancher turned injustice into triumph. Asterisk. The sun was just rising over rolling green hills when Marcus Johnson stood at the edge of his ranch, coffee in hand. This was his sanctuary. After years of saving, sacrificing, and working 2 jobs, Marcus, an African-American man with deep Southern roots, had finally bought the ranch of his dreams. The land wasn't just dirt and grass to him, it was legacy. His grandfather, once denied land ownership because of discriminatory laws, had always told Marcus, "One day we'll have a piece of earth they can't take away." And now Marcus had it. 40 acres of open sky, a modest but sturdy ranch house, and cattle that roamed freely. It wasn't just property, it was proof. Proof that he had beaten the odds stacked against him. But sometimes, when you climb too high, there are always people waiting to pull you down. And those people came in the form of a homeowners association, an HOA that Marcus never wanted, never asked for, but that somehow had a grip on his community. Asterisk. It was a quiet Tuesday morning when Marcus found the envelope taped to his door. Asterisk. In bold, threatening letters, the HOA demanded that Marcus sell his ranch. Their reasoning? His land wasn't up to community standards. They claimed his fencing was unsightly. They said his animals were disruptive. But beneath the excuses was a chilling truth. Marcus was being targeted. His ranch was one of the few black-owned properties in the entire county. Neighbors whispered. The HOA meetings, mostly led by wealthy families who had inherited their land, treated Marcus like an outsider. But now, this wasn't whispers. This was war. The letter warned that if Marcus didn't comply within 72 hours, he would face legal action, massive fines, and even forced eviction. Imagine that. Owning your land outright, paying every bill on time, and still being told to get out. Marcus sat in his kitchen, letter trembling in his hands. Anger boiled inside him. But Marcus wasn't just angry. He was strategic. He remembered his grandfather's words: "Don't let them see you break, make them see you build." And with that, Marcus devised a plan, one that would not only protect his ranch, but also make the HOA regret ever crossing him. Asterisk. What the HOA didn't realize was that Marcus owned more than just his house and ranch land. Years earlier, he had quietly purchased several rental properties in the community. Small homes and duplexes scattered around town, many of which were currently being leased to families who just so happened to be connected to the HOA board. Yes. The same people trying to force Marcus off his land were living in homes he owned. When Marcus checked his rental agreements, he found his golden ticket. Most of them were month-to-month leases, which meant he had the right to adjust rent prices with proper notice. So, while the HOA gave him 72 hours to leave, Marcus gave them 30 days to face something they never expected. Marcus called in his attorney to ensure everything was airtight. He drafted formal letters, legal notices, and rent adjustment documents, and then, with calm precision, he delivered them. The next HOA meeting was chaos. Members who once sneered at Marcus now panicked. Some shouted about unfairness. Others begged for negotiations, but Marcus, he just sat at the back of the room, silent, watching them unravel. Because this wasn't just about money. This was about power. The very same people who thought they could strip Marcus of his dream were now facing the reality of losing theirs. Asterisk. Word spread like wildfire through the town. Some praised Marcus, calling him a genius. Others whispered behind closed doors, bitter, that he turned the tables. The HOA tried to fight back. They filed complaints, they threatened lawsuits. But Marcus had anticipated every move. His attorney presented flawless contracts. Everything was legal. Everything was binding. One by one. HOA families who had been living comfortably in Marcus's properties either coughed up the new rent or scrambled to find new housing. Some had to downsize. Some even moved away entirely. The HOA lost its grip. Membership numbers dropped. Meetings became shouting matches. The once mighty board fractured, pointing fingers at each other for letting Marcus outsmart them. And through it all, Marcus remained calm. He continued running his ranch, raising his cattle, and living the life they tried to take from him. But the most powerful part. With the extra income from increased rent, Marcus reinvested into his land. He built stronger fencing, expanded his herd, and even started hosting community events, inviting neighbors who truly wanted unity, not division. The ranch became more than just land. It became a beacon, a symbol of resilience. This story isn't just about revenge, it's about standing your ground. Marcus could have folded. He could have given in, sold his ranch, and disappeared quietly. But instead, he chose to fight. Not with fists, but with strategy. And in doing so, he didn't just protect his home. He exposed the injustice of an HOA system that too often wields power unfairly. The irony. Today, Marcus's ranch is thriving more than ever, and the HOA that once threatened him practically dissolved. Sometimes common life throws us into battles we never asked for, but how we respond defines us. Marcus proved that when people try to strip you of what you've earned, the best revenge isn't just survival, it's success. If this story fired you up, hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful stories of resilience and justice. And let me ask you this, if you were Marcus, would you have done the same thing, or would you have fought back differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Because remember, sometimes the best way to win is to flip the script.